Morara Kebaso has told Kenyans, he has appealed to 15 million Kenyans to contribute 100 shillings each to raise 1.5 billion shillings for his presidential campaign. It was because of that appeal that I felt it important for me to react on it. One thing, my understanding is that Kenya, we have a population of 50 million people. So he's talking of 30% of people in Kenya to raise 100 shillings each. Now, if you talk of 30%, you see the 50 million are all people in Kenya, all people within the Kenyan borders. That is Kenyans and non-Kenyans, adult and children. I don't know how many registered voters we have in Kenya. I would not even be surprised to find out that we don't have 15 million registered voters. But then a simple question I would like to pose to Morara Kebaso. Which is easier? Is it, okay, suppose I'm supporting him. Which is easier? Is it for me to go on the election day and vote for him, or I contribute 100 shillings for him to have a campaign kit? I think the easiest way is I contribute nothing, but when he is contesting, I vote for him. If he can convince Kenyans to part away with 100 shillings, why can't he convince the very same Kenyans to vote for him? That is free. But then you and I, we know what he is doing. Morara Kebaso, if I have to start from when he became public, I looked at him. I looked at the Jinsi revolution, and I recorded a video. You can still go to my old videos and see. I recorded a video in which I said that the Jinsi should be careful. The Jinsi should be careful with such people who will use that opportunity to line their pockets. And I remember very well to be the first person to have pointed two people. I'd pointed Kasamuel and I'd pointed out Morara Kebaso. In fact, if you look at that video, there is a picture of the two. And I said people should be careful with them because I didn't have any facts. But you see, if you have done something for a long time and you have dealt with issues for a long time, there is something that makes you look at people and you are convinced that this person, whatever he or she is doing it for commercial purposes. And that is why I identified the two. I said there are two. I didn't say that the two are the only ones, but I said that the two are the leading. Now we all know where Kasamuel is, and we are now know where Morara Kebaso is. Morara Kebaso had started by imitating the voice of, he was putting on clothes similar to Ruto, and he was imitating Ruto with his kutenga na kutenga. And I requested him to continue with that because that was his talent. And young people really attacked me. Said, old man, you are envious of the young people coming up. Or you people, you forget that you are the ones who let Moi be what he is. But I can tell you, if you look at those people, because on this particular video, I'm talking about Morara Kebaso. If you look at him and others, you'll see that he reminds me of a person of my age mate called Jirongo. Jirongo, when things came, he knew that he was to make a lot of money through the YK92. And he became very rich because of the YK92. So that is how, and that is why I came to realize, I came to the conclusion that Morara Kebaso is leading that way. Now, if you look at Morara Kebaso, how many times has he called for a Harambe? And he's very clever. He says, I want to raise Harambe for my public address system. People contribute. I want to an Harambe for me to get a vehicle so that I go throughout Kenya. People contribute. I want to ABCD, and people still contribute to that. This young man, more than any other Gen Z, has come up with a way of making a lot of money. I want to talk of 2 points before I finish today's topic. I want to talk of one. Morara, he campaigned. I mean, he was interviewed to be an IEBC commissioner. Now, even the results are not yet out. We don't know whether he'll be taken, although I also recorded and said he cannot be taken because of his controversial purposes. But even before the results are out for the IB commissioners, he's there already asking 15 million Kenyans to contribute 100 shillings each for his campaign. Again, uh, he himself uh, has a party. He has a political party that he calls Inject. Now, he has injected a lot of money in his pocket to an extent that this political party has received a lot of funds, and it has received a lot of funds that uh, nobody, even officials, the national officials of his party, do not know how much is contributed and how much is being used. And anybody coming to ask any question is blacklisted by Morara Kebaso. Young Kenyans and other Kenyans, because he talked of 15 million people contributing 100 each, be careful of such person. I don't know if you can convince 15 million people to contribute 100. Why don't you just tell them? Why can't you convince the 15 million people to vote for you straight away? Some of these things are as easy as that. Thanks for listening to me. We meet in another episode. Thank you.